So I'm going to select 3 exponents that are equivalent to this as my answer. So I'm going to just, the only way to do this is you have to go through each one. So let's start with our numbers. So we're going to cancel or divide by 8. So 8 goes into negative 48. So we're going to cancel by negative 8. 6 times 8 goes into negative 45 times. Then I notice that I have a negative exponent for my x, so that's going to go on top. And then I'm going to deal with my x's. So I have 6. There's an invisible 1 on the x, so that means I'm going to have x to the 8. And then my y's, I'm going to subtract the exponents. There are more on the denominator, so that stays in the denominator. So one of my answers is A. For B, let's divide by 2. So 2 goes into 12 6 times, 2 goes into 10 5 times. Okay. If I look at my x's, I'm going to subtract. There's more x's on the numerator, so it's going to stay on top. And if I look at my y's, I'm going to flip them because they have a negative exponent. So I'm going to have y to the 5th on the numerator, y to the 4th in the denominator. So now if I subtract them, I get y, and it's going to be on the numerator because there's more y's in the numerator than there are in the denominator. And I forgot to bring down my 5. The 5 from here. So B is not the same thing as my answer. Okay, C, I know it's also not going to be the same thing as my answer just by looking at this part right here. This is not y to the 4th plus y squared. You need to be very, very careful. This means y squared plus y twice. So if I distribute, I'm going to have y to the 4th plus y to the 3rd plus y squared plus, y cubed plus y squared. Do you see how that's going to be really, really messy? So just without doing any work, I know that that's not going to be an answer. So let's look at D. So the negative exponent means that I'm going to flip the fraction. So 6, 8, y squared is going to go on the numerator, 5y cubed is going to go in the denominator. So I just have to look at my x's. I'm going to subtract them. There's more x's in the denominator, so it's going to stay in the denominator, and I'm going to be left with 1. So D is another one of my answers. For E, same concept. I'm going to have to flip my numerators. And there's nothing else I can do, so my answer is not E. So if we look at F, I'm going to move x to the 4th to the numerator. Then I'm going to add them. So I get 6x to the 8 over y. So F is also an answer.